Arsenal have started this season like a house on fire, and Gabby J, otherwise known as Gabriel Jesus, otherwise known as the Saviour, is on fire. But the real burning question is 2 games in, Arteta seems to have found a fix. You've got Granit Xhaka playing out of his skin. Are Arsenal the real deal?
I was wary. We all do our season predictions, and I was cautious about Arsenal because I wanted to be sensible this year with my predictions. But 2 games in, I think they're the real deal. I've got to do. I think the movement is outrageous. I'm excited about how young they are and how hungry they seem to be as well. Gabriel Jesus, his stats are fantastic, but his movement is just so fantastic. And I don't know if it's the All or Nothing documentary, and I'm getting sucked in by this as well.
You are. I know you are. I've seen your tweets.
I have a little bit. But the thing that's so clear from that, and it's so clear that what Arteta's been trying to be doing for quite a while, is he wanted that team to be fluent. And by that, I mean, everyone knows what they're going to do before they get the ball. I used an analogy earlier in the week where it's like, when you're learning to drive and you're like, do I do the clutch? Once you've figured that out, then you get your head up and you can just do everything and you can do it quicker and easier. And that's what's happening with Arsenal right now. Like, the movement is so good. The profile of players, the squad building has been really, really impressive. I think they are the real deal. I do.
You mentioned Gabby J's stats.
I never said Gabby J at any point.
I plan on saying that every single time. Who, please join me. So far this season, obviously, it's only been 2 games per 90. XG of 0.83, XA of 0.33. This is centre forward we're talking about. 3 shots, touches in the box, 8 in the top 2% in Europe. And his successful dribble percentage at 68.7%. That screams striker, winger, number 10. Yeah. He's practically everything that pulls Arsenal together. It's fascinating because at City, he was not that guy. He was getting played off the right-hand side. Arteta clearly saw something and said, you can be that main focal point.
He could have been that guy at Manchester City. They were never going to hang their hat on him with Sergio Aguero in their squad, obviously. And obviously signing Erling Haaland, they weren't going to do that either because I think he's a player with more goal-scoring potential. But we know that Gabriel Jesus has this talent because he's played in all of the positions that you just mentioned and he's played in them at a high level. He's played through the middle as a false 9 and he's done well. Played out wide, done well. Drops deeper, does really well. He's tenacious. He's got great feet. He's got an eye for a pass. He's got an eye for a goal. We knew he had all of this talent. He's won 4 Premier League titles. He was just a bit part player, a squad player in what is essentially the greatest squad ever assembled in professional football. And so that was to his detriment. Now he gets the added responsibility under Mikel Arteta to say, you're the man, you go out there and you take the responsibility of carrying this team forward and making sure that we produce in the final third. And I think he's relishing that. It's a new lease of life. He's happy. It's just a great home for him. But actually, I'm not seeing a different player. He's always been a very, very good player.
I don't know about that.
He's always been a very, very good player.
But I like to play the game of, if I was playing for Man City, how many goals could I score? Because Man City are that dominant. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So the questions come from kind of what you said. And you said bit part player. He was, wasn't he? A bit part player. Yes, he was a great tool for them, especially Champions League games, away games. He was quite big for them. He'd come into the side, play on that right-hand side and work hard for the team. But the question for me was, can he be the main man? Can he be the guy? And do you sort of thrive in that situation, or does the pressure get a little bit too much? Is there a possibility that we're all getting a bit too excited and that his confidence could drop once there's 1 or 2 games where it doesn't work?
He actually said before that he started to play on the right-hand side for City because he was having a bad time through the middle. That is...
he said he wanted to play out there, didn't he, at one point as well?
I want to play out there.
Yeah, he said, I am a right
I'm
winger.
not scoring many goals.
You're not.
That's like a bit of a red flag to me because that screams... Arsenal's fixtures are great right now. Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa, United, Everton, Brentford. Arsenal could very easily only draw one of those games or lose one of those games and really be at the top. Then I go to Gabriel Jesus and go, right, now you're playing Tottenham. Then you're playing Liverpool. Then you got Leeds, you got City. Are you the guy then? That's my thing with Arsenal at the moment is where Xhaka is a primary example. You know how much I love this man. But I'm going, he's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. I know for a fact at some point...
I think Xhaka's the guy.
Xhaka is the guy. Xhaka is the guy.
He's not the guy, guys.
At some point in the next 10 games, Xhaka's going to get yellow or a red and he won't be the guy anymore. The problem for me is with Gabby J, he is still the guy. The problem with Gabby J is...
Does he get sent off? Sorry. Carry on.
Can I just... The thing with Gabby J is, and I agree to your point a little bit, that he's shown his talent, but the reason he couldn't cut it for City is because he couldn't do it in the absolute critical moments all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Was it built around him though?
No, listen, I was lucky enough. I spoke at length with Tim Vickery, South American football expert based in Brazil, and he'd said that the reason that Gabby J had decided that he wanted to play out wide was that he was actually scarred by his experience playing through the middle for Brazil. Right. He hadn't scored, hadn't played that well, came under loads of criticism, and then decided to go to the manager and basically say, can you play me out wide? And essentially did the same thing with his club as well. And actually, I think that this is the key change, really. If you're Pep Guardiola and a player comes in, like Gabriel Jesus, who isn't even a first-team starter, and says, I prefer to play out wide, well, what are you going to do? You go, all right then. I mean, we like you. You work hard for the team. Great out wide. If you're going to work that hard out wide, do it. We've got players that can play through the middle. We don't really need that. Same with Brazil. They went, okay, we've got an array of attacking talent. We'll put Richarlison through the middle. Arsenal don't have that depth, particularly in the centre-forward position. And so they brought him in and just said, look, we need you to play through the middle. We need you to get over this. And the same thing's actually happening for his country now. It's like, look, you're going to be through the middle. We want you to be a goal scorer. This kid came through the ranks as an unbelievable goal scorer. And suddenly, years later, we're like, well, he's just a wide player who's a gadget player who goes into loads of positions. No, he isn't. He's a brilliant centre-forward / false nine. He's got tricks, he's got movement, he's got enough pace.
He's hungry.
He's got good finishing, and now he's hungry. And Arsenal have just gone, look, we don't care that you don't think you're good enough to play through the middle. We know you are. Here's your opportunity. And he's going to be back to the player he was when he was in Brazil. That's what got him a move to Europe and Manchester City.
I've got to ask this question, and I'm kind of springing it on you guys, but it just popped into my head. With the change that you've seen with Arsenal, and kind of, obviously coinciding with Gabriel Jesus coming into the team. Gabriel Jesus. Is he pound for pound the most important player in the Premier League in terms of the rise that you've seen? Or is there a more important player in the Premier League for their team?
In terms of the rise that we've seen, I'm not sure what you mean by that. In terms of for their team, I think he's crucial for Arsenal. If he's injured, with all respect to Eddie Nketiah, then they're very different players.
Because this will definitely be one for the comments. But one other name that popped into my head was, say, a Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is that the name you were going to go?
Pound for pound is like very, very difficult to nail down. I would say Rice because West Ham without Declan Rice looks so disjointed. And Eddie Nketiah did deliver towards the end of last season. But the way Arsenal have changed their system to be built around Gabriel Jesus makes it difficult to...
I'll get used to it. So.
James Ward-Prowse, other than them.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse is another one, but I think pound for pound, you would have to say, 2 games in, it's difficult to say. In 10 games' time, if Gabriel Jesus is playing exactly like he is, then Gabby J may well be the pound for pound most valuable player in the league. But you let us know in the comments below.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.